All right, next we're going to talk about absolutism. So, absolutism, as we've talked about before, was a period from about 1600 to 1770 where you saw the power of the kings in Europe grow, various kings and stuff like that. The first one that really kind of kicked everything off was King Henry VIII. He's the guy that we talked about who couldn't produce a male heir, and so he kept killing his wives to try and get that taken care of. However, why he helped the power of the monarchy grow, because he made himself the head of a new church, created his own church, and kind of went around the back of the Catholic Church. A lot of people considered him to be really kind of the start to this, absolutism. Rulers like Louis the 14th, forced nobles to live with him so he could check their power, so he kind of checks the power of those below him, meaning that he gains more power. And then philosophers like Thomas Hobbes said that man was not naturally good and that they needed a strong central government in which to kind of control them, which would go along with that absolute power. And then finally, a lot of the rulers claimed that they had divine right, or that it was God's deputy on earth and that they were ruling in his stead. So that's kind of some reasons how absolutism came about. Some examples that we talked about were King Louis XIV of France, who forced Catholicization. He forced the country to convert to Catholicism. He created standing armies. He did a bunch of stuff like forcing his nobles to stay at the palace with him so they could check their power, that kind of stuff. He also was very famous for saying, "I am the state," which was basically, in essence, him saying that I am controlling everything. Because I'm this absolute ruler, I control everything. Peter the Great from Russia, he's going to modernize Russia, but he's going to shun a lot of the traditions. He's going to force people to shave their beards, change their clothes, and modernize, which technically means he was improving the country, but he was also doing it through this absolutism. Excuse me. And then the final one is going to be Catherine the Great of Russia. She takes over a couple years after Peter, and she gives the rights to the nobles, but she makes the conditions worse in the society. She really kind of wrecks things in Russia for a long period of time. That is pretty much everything we have on absolutism then. So let's go on to limiting the monarchy.